And welcome everybody to episode 6 of Comic Confidential, the weekly podcast where we bring you the week's comic-related news, views, and reviews. I'm your host, Troy, and with me as always, the man who puts the pun in Punisher, Kade.
Hey, that was good, man. I like
Thanks,
that.
man. Yeah.
How you doing?
I just thought about that then.
Yeah?
Just thought of it then.
Oh.
I'm very smart.
You're so smart.
So smart. I'm good, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Excellent. Look, first thing we want to say is we want to mention to everyone, we understand Batman vs. Superman is out. We're as excited as everybody. We're going to save our episode for next week, though, to give you guys a little bit of a chance to watch it first.
Yeah, go out there, watch it so we don't spoil it for you because we're going to just talk full-on spoilers the whole time.
We're not going to hold back when we do talk about it. And, we want you guys to make up your own minds about it as well.
Yeah, that's it.
In the meantime, though, let me thank absolutely everybody who has listened and downloaded. Don't forget, you can find us on Facebook at Comic Confidential Podcast. There's Instagram and Twitter at Comic Con Pod. And don't forget, you can also download episodes for free.
For free?
For free. Straight off the website, www.comicconpod.com.
All right. News.
All
right. We already said this 10 seconds ago, but Batman vs. Superman is out.
It is out, and it's dominating the news right now.
It is. And probably not for the right reasons.
No. The reviews haven't been overly promising as yet.
No. Some would say they are lukewarm.
At best.
At best.
However, first of all,
Fuck them guys.
man, fuck critics,
Yeah.
right? Because we, the fans, are the people who really make, we're the ones that know what we're going to see. We understand the source material for the most part. And we're the ones that these movies are made for. They're not made for a critic to sit back and just go, oh, hey, this movie, doesn't follow the same theme of like some shit that I watched one time. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what a critic does.
Yo, there's
obviously.
too many explosions.
Yeah, this is unrealistic.
Why can that guy fly and this guy can't?
What? Anyway, so I guess what we're saying is, we will reserve our judgment for when it comes out.
I don't need someone to tell me how good a movie is. I'll judge that shit myself.
Exactly. But even with that, initial ticket sales have been quite promising. It's been really good. The movie's only been out for a day.
Yeah.
Realistically. So just everyone, calm down.
Yeah.
It's
Cut
going to
your
be fine.
DC hating shit out and go see the movie before you say it's shit.
Yeah. We haven't actually seen it yet. We'll be honest. We're going in 2 sleeps time.
Ooh.
2 sleeps. We're going to go in 2 sleeps, and we will talk about it in depth next week.
Yes.
But there is other news, a little bit of other news.
Just
out
a
there.
little bit
Just
more.
a little bit more. Jeremy Renner,
AKA Hawkeye.
from the Avengers. If you don't know who
The
we're talking
Avenger
about.
that everybody hates.
Yeah. Well, do they?
I think he even hates himself.
Oh,
He doesn't even know why he's in the Avengers.
come on.
Nah, man, he says it.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair. All right, if he's saying it, that's okay. We can let that slide. But interestingly, he has said that he would be open to a Netflix series in a similar vein of Daredevil and Jessica Jones and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that would be good. That will make Hawkeye relevant.
Yeah, but I think it would be cool as shit.
Yeah.
I think if you're gonna delve deeper into this character that, let's be honest, is never gonna get his own standalone movie, I think that's the best way to explore that character more.
Yeah.
In that sort of format.
And, especially since he's also part of the Defenders, which, this whole Netflix series is leading up to, I think is a bit of a no-brainer.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So if someone out there can make that happen,
Make that happen. That's it.
do it.
Done.
Okay. Also out this week, you would have seen the Luke Cage teaser.
Yes, I did.
What'd you think?
I liked it.
Yeah, it was only 30 seconds or so.
That's all I need.
That's all I need to. Right. Look, it was good for what it was. I mean, it's just a teaser. We've already seen Luke Cage. We know what he's capable of doing. Interesting to note, though, that he was in the same gym as
Daredevil's dad. Daredevil trains in, a.k.a. Fogwell's gym.
Exactly.
It was good.
It was good.
First thing I noticed.
The first thing I noticed was him getting shot the shit up, and, nothing happened. I just thought it was cool. Maybe not so exciting news for anybody outside of the UK, potentially. But there looks like there is a potential, based on some leaked images and things like that. There's a pitch for a Captain Britain TV show similar in the similar vein, maybe of like a Netflix series or something like that.
Yeah.
What say you?
It's good, right? I don't know. I don't know nothing about this character, so it could be the whole Jessica Jones thing. A little bit of a dark horse.
Well, yeah, exactly. A lot of people, to be honest with you, didn't really know much about Jessica Jones aside from the fans themselves, like the actual like comic book fans and whatnot.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, "Oh, what's a Jessica Jones? What does she do?" Could be the same thing with Captain Britain. Could be nothing. Could just be a picture on the internet. Like a lot of things.
We could have been duped.
We could have been duped, like I was when I talked about that Preacher premiere date one time.
Yeah, that's right. That happened.
Yeah, but we won't go into that again. I think that is probably it.
Yeah, short news week.
Short news week, mostly because it's been dominated by Batman vs Superman. We will pick up some more next week for sure. There's going to be a lot more happening, but yeah, it's going to be heavily dominated by the release of this movie because everybody is so keen.
Yeah. Should we tell them? Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to do 2 episodes next week.
Oh my god.
2 episodes to fill your glorious ear holes.
First episode will be solely an episode dedicated to Batman vs Superman.
Yeah.
So I don't know how long it'll go for. Could go for half an hour. Could go for 4. You just don't know because it is really exciting sort of source material. We could talk about it forever.
We waited 3 years for it.
Oh my god.
I'm going to dedicate 3 hours to it.
Yeah. But we'll try to keep it, basically the episode will be exactly that. It'll just be about the movie. It'll be a review. Then we'll also have our episode 7 next week.
Yeah.
Also.
/8. I don't know, we'll see how we number
undisclosed. I don't know what we're going to do. We're just winging it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But keep your eyes out for that.
Yes. And your ears.
Okay.
And that's going to bring us into the weekly wrap. Okay, so like I said, that's going to bring us to our next segment, the weekly wrap, where we wrap up all the week's TV action, starting off with, as always, The Walking Dead.
Yes, and this week, Daryl, Rosita, Denise?
Yes.
Yeah. Abraham and Eugene. They all heading on different missions, and pretty much tragedy happens.
Yeah.
And Carol's had enough of this shit.
Yeah, she out.
Yeah.
See ya. So look, it opens with a well-shot focus on the normalcy and the repetition of life in Alexandria.
That fucked me up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God.
It's skipping.
Yeah. I had to pause and check where I was because fuck, it skipped back.
But it didn't.
Yeah.
But that's how well shot it was.
Yeah, exactly.
It really made you think that it was skipping back and just showing you the same stuff. But that shows you how mundane life has effectively become.
Yeah.
And from there, I guess Denise, the doctor, Dr. Denise.
Yes. Dr. D.
Dr. D. She convinces Daryl and Rosita to take her to a local apothecary.
What is that?
Really?
Really?
I think it's just an old-timey word for pharmacy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Way to make shit hard, Troy.
Yeah. You could just say pharmacy.
Yeah.
Look, anyway, that's the word they use. That's the word I'm going to use. Anyway, so while there is not a lot sort of going on, Denise, so she convinces Daryl and Rosita to take her out to a pharmacy because apparently she believes there would be a lot of medicine there and all that sort of stuff, and that's great.
Yeah. And there is.
There is.
How's this place not being raided?
Well, because it's called an apothecary.
And no one thinks it's a pharmacy.
And no one knows what that means. Well done,
Yeah.
Walking Dead. You fooled everybody. So I guess what this shows is the fact that Denise has never really made it to the outside world before.
Yeah.
It's really, like as she says, it's her first time. She's never been outside of the walls.
Yeah, and that's crazy. Because what are they, in Walking Dead time, it's 2 years? Maybe 3 years?
Maybe 3?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, but, you think in that much time, you would have seen a bit of this world.
Yeah. Well, she hasn't. But what she does see, I think, really opens her eyes.
Yeah, it's a scene that you probably haven't seen. Well, I know I haven't seen this in The Walking Dead as of yet. Is a dead baby.
Yeah, a little bit of a dead baby.
Yes.
Not stuff that, we can really joke about.
No.
And banter. It was quite horrible.
Yeah.
But she does bust into a room, and yes, there's a zombie mother with what appears to be a broken leg, and like a dead baby on a change table.
Yeah.
Not great.
Was it a change table?
Yeah.
I read things that it was a deep fryer. Like she's put this baby in the deep fryer.
Why would she put a baby in a deep fryer?
Oh, it could have turned.
Why would there be a deep fryer in the back of a pharmacy?
Man, don't blame me. Blame the internet.
Don't read things on the internet. Anyway.
Just listen to two guys on the internet.
Yeah, that's right. Just listen to us. We know what we're talking about. Look, okay, it could be a deep fry. It could be a change table. Either way, what it does show is it's her first real exposure to the grim violence and just overall horror of the outside world.
The brutality
of it all. And she doesn't cope very well.
No, she's a mess.
Initially.
Yeah.
She's a mess. On the flip side of that, so Abraham and Eugene are also on their own little side mission. And so Eugene has a plan to, he takes Abraham to this warehouse.
Yeah. And, it shows that Eugene's got a plan to make homemade bullets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know how he found this warehouse or whatever it was maybe the guy's been out a bit more than you've actually seen.
Google Maps.
Google Maps.
Yeah.
Probably using Google Maps. But yeah, so he's got a really good plan actually.
Yeah.
To make bullets, to make ammunition. And he has the knowledge and the know-how to do it. But what it does start to show for him, for this character, really developmental stories for Denise and Eugene in this particular episode. But what it does show for him is that he's finally sort of stepped up a bit, and he's what he refers to as he's hit stage 2.
Yeah,
like he's a survivor now.
He's evolved.
He has. He's evolved into this guy who can handle it in the real world. And all that sort of stuff.
That's it. And it comes to fruition. Yeah, that's probably the word.
Yeah.
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 But he runs into this zombie who's basically got molten lead over him. That's set. Tries to hit him straight on the head with it, and he's about to get his shit wrecked up.
Yeah.
Abraham's just there, enjoying the view,
yeah,
kind of
basically.
He's like, "No, I got this. He ain't got shit.
He doesn't have
Abraham helps him out, and Eugene's like, "What the fuck, man?
Man, I don't need your help anymore.
Yeah.
Get out of my life." And and Abraham's basically like, "Okay,
All right, see you, mate. Take care of yourself.
You're on your own."
Yeah.
In the meantime, Denise and Daryl and Rosita have started to make their way back. When Denise decides to, basically branch out on her own, she's got this sudden hit of bravado. And there's a zombie in a car, and there's like an esky or something.
Yeah.
And she's like, I want that esky. And then she goes, and you think, oh, here we go, Denise is going to get bitten or something. But she doesn't. She fights off that zombie.
Barely.
But she does, and she makes her first kill.
Yeah, and it actually led to one of the funnier moments in this episode where she kills this zombie, gets up, spews. Oh, I spewed on my glasses.
Yeah, true. But it's not long after that until tragedy strikes.
Yes, that's right. We see her get a arrow through the eye.
Right through the eye. I'm starting to believe that the producers of this show have a little bit of an eye fetish.
They have to.
I don't know what they're doing, but that's fine. But yes, it's quite tragic because she's finally talking up about, I now know what I need to do, and, I know what this life is about, and I understand, and, love and, things and junk and all that sort of stuff. And then bam, arrow straight through the eye. And this is where we get the introduction or the reintroduction of Dwight.
And not Dwight from The Office.
No.
Because he would be much better prepared than what everyone else is for this zombie apocalypse.
Well and truly.
Yeah.
No, this is Dwight, the Negan's right-hand man. And we have seen him before back in a previous episode. And he's already had an altercation with Daryl. We didn't know his name at the time, though.
No. Well, if you read the comics, you know kind of who he might have been back then.
Yeah.
And back then, Daryl saved him.
Yeah. Well, that happened in the comics too.
Yes.
Oh, not the comics, in the show.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. We're on the same wavelength. Congratulations, you guys.
Well done.
Way to come in prepared.
But, talking about the comics, this leads up to one of the most iconic panels I think, in the Walking Dead comics.
Probably. So it turns out that Dwight and his gang of saviors have busted out of the scrub bush, whatever you want to call it, and they are holding Eugene hostage. Obviously, Eugene had to find his own way home, and they've got him hostage. So I'll let you talk about this because you have read the comic and you do understand how it all plays out. So
yeah, so it's very, very similar. Basically, let's be blunt. Eugene bites off Dwight's dick.
Yeah. Do you reckon he bites it off? It's through genes. He just gives it a good chomp.
Man, have you ever accidentally bit your finger?
Yeah.
How much does that fucking hurt?
Well, yeah.
Imagine if you're actually biting on purpose. You're gonna. Man.
Okay, there's a good chance that he bit it off. Anyway, so all this happens. This is the distraction in order to get, Abraham's been hiding behind some barrels, and it leads to, once again, as always, Rick's crew comes to, they win.
Yeah,
they win the little skirmish. They win the battle. Will they win the war? Who knows?
Yeah, the Negan's men run away with their tails between their legs.
Yep. Or their dick on the ground. I don't know. But anyway, it is iconic.
Yeah.
And they played it out really well.
Yep.
That's kind of it for that. I guess they go back to Alexandria and, there's the fallout of Denise dying and all that sort of stuff. And everybody's sad and all that. But nobody is more sadder than Carol.
Yeah.
Carol has really decided that she just can't do this anymore.
Yeah. She can't kill for her loved ones.
Yeah, which is either nice or weird.
Yeah.
Because
she's becoming Morgan.
Yeah. And nobody wants to be Morgan, let's be honest.
No.
You want to be able to fight like Morgan, but not be like Morgan.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she leaves. She leaves her man. She leaves Rick. She leaves everybody behind. What does this mean for her? Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll see. There's only 2 episodes left, so we're going to find out pretty soon if I'm right. And she gets it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Rating?
I'm going to give this 4 ball bites.
4 ball bites.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I'll agree.
But it's only for like that last quarter of the episode.
Yeah, look, the rest of it was good, but it wasn't amazing. But the last part was exceptional. 2 episodes to go. Can't wait.
Yeah.
And that's going to bring us to Supergirl.
Yeah, on this episode, Supergirl struggles to win back the public's trust. John Jones gets interrogated, and it's like this was a backstory for everyone.
Yeah, like everyone.
Supergirl has gone back to le shit.
Yeah, effectively. It wasn't the best episode. Really, what can you say other than this was legitimately a backstory, like a backstory episode.
Yeah.
Every single person on the show that has ever been in like on screen got a backstory this week. The only real thing that I took away from it is that we got a lot more Manhunter.
Yeah.
Which was cool. And a lot more Dean Cain.
Yeah.
Which is super cool.
Way cool.
Super cool. Hey, see what I did
there?
Look, I guess what happens, it goes back to the part where, so Jean Jones, you've got to say it with the right accent.
Yeah.
Jean Jones
Jones
has, he's imprisoned in the DEO and all that sort of stuff. And for some reason, and I don't understand how the legalities work, I'm not going to pretend to, but the Marines get involved. I'm not even going to pretend to understand. But the Marines get involved and they decide that they're going to interrogate Jean Jones and Alex.
Yes.
And I guess the 2 of them end up getting taken to a facility called Cadmus.
And just
Am I saying that right?
Yeah, you are. But before we get there, who was it? Lucy? Lucy Lang?
Yeah.
Yeah. She just decides that Alex is guilty.
Yeah.
No proof at all. She just goes, nah, you're full of shit, bitch. You're coming with us.
Can I also just point out that how easy is it for her to get a job back in the army when she was in the army, left, joined Cat Grant, left, back in the army?
Yeah.
Man. Whatever works for you. Whatever
Whatever.
works for you, Lucy. That's great. Anyway, so they end up getting taken to, or they're being transported to a facility called Cadmus, which kind of, effectively makes Area 59 look like a resort spa for aliens. Right?
Yeah.
Lucy plays the bitch, as you said.
Yep.
To Kara and Alex and basically everyone around her that has, had something to do with this whole breakdown of her relationship with James.
Yeah.
Is that his name? Yeah.
Jimmy, James, whatever you want to call him.
Anyway, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's like big lengthy monologue by, Supergirl or Kara at the time. And all of a sudden Lucy's like, oh, okay, I'll help save the day.
Yeah. Also, in this monologue, Supergirl comes out to who she really is to Lucy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is important.
Yeah. But then Lucy's just kind of like, how did I not see this? Bitch.
Well, so still playing the bitch.
Yeah.
So what happens? Look, we'll wrap it up because it wasn't fantastic. John and Alex are now fugitives. It looks like Jeremiah Danvers, that's Dean Cain for all of you people playing at home, seems to be alive.
Yes.
And in Cadmus, I think.
Yeah.
Looks like it.
Yeah. Well, that's what they hinted at.
They hinted at. And really, that's about as exciting as it got. Once it all wraps up, Lucy ends up as the new head of the DEO, thanks to some John Jones Jedi mind tricks.
So really, she's got a demotion.
Yeah.
Because apparently, like you said, the Marines are higher than this. So, well done, John.
Well done, John.
And in that, we also see our first kind of look at Silver Banshee.
Yeah, so Saborn Smith, or Smythe, however you want to say it, she's come back in a little side story. She's tried to do the dirty on Kara. It's backfired for her.
Her man had no part of that shit. He's just like, fuck
nah,
you.
You're dead to me. She gets drunk and naturally falls off a building, as you do. And this is where we see her first use her powers, her sonic scream. If you don't know who Silver Banshee is, she's a supervillain with some interesting powers, I guess. She has super speed, enhanced strength, teleportation, and hypersonic screams, which can kill.
Damn.
But apparently only if she can see the person and know their true name.
What?
So if I'm looking at you right now,
Yeah.
and I know your name is Kade, then I can kill you with my scream.
Right.
But if your real name that you've been hiding from me this whole time was like
Carlos,
yeah, then I would think that I knew and I'd try to kill you, but it wouldn't work because I don't know your real name.
Wow.
Does that make any sense?
What's the legalities to that?
I don't know. I'm not even gonna try.
All right.
Look, rating for this one for me was a solid 2.5 Banshee whales.
Oh man, I'll agree because it had lots of Dean Cain in it.
Yeah. That's probably where it gets its highest score.
P.S. He needs to hit a treadmill.
Oh yeah,
He's
not looking like he used to when he was in Lois and Clark.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
not at all.
But yes, that's that. Not a great show this week.
No. That brings us to The Flash.
The Flash, yes. So this week on The Flash, a mystery speedster terrorizes Central City. The team learn about the dangers of drug abuse, and we learn the truth behind Zoom. Or they learn the truth behind Zoom. We've known for weeks.
Yeah, keep up, guys.
To me, this was really just an episode about the perils of steroid abuse, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I can see that. Stay away from drugs, kids.
Yeah, look, don't do drugs, kids. It's kind of like, Barry is kind of like, why is everybody so much better than me? Why can't I use, if there's a drug called Velocity 9 that's going to make me better, why can't I use that to like even the playing field?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, oh, well, no, you've got to find your own way, man. Don't take drugs, kids.
Yeah. Does it seem like every other fucking speedster on this show is so much quicker than Barry?
Yes.
This guy is the Flash.
He's the Flash, the fastest man alive. I'm the only man fast enough to stop them. No, you're not, because there's 17 other people so far that have been faster than you. I don't know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
But this lady, so Trajectory, she's a female speedster. She's just a normal person who takes Velocity 9. Boom, already faster than the Flash.
Way faster.
That's cool. Whatever.
Yeah.
So she calls herself Trajectory. To me, she seems to be purely like a freak of the week because she doesn't really have a story that I don't think is going to go anywhere.
No.
What she does do is she does kick off the whole, peeps getting addicted to Velocity 9 sort of thing. And she injects Jesse with a dose of it which will probably come back in some form as Jesse Quick.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I saw this whole Velocity 9 thing, this whole episode to me was building up to the fact that it gives you this split personality.
Yeah.
And that's going to play on to Jay Garrick,
Yep.
who we obviously know there's about 3 copies of him now,
Yep.
maybe 4 if he's the man in that iron mask.
Yep.
Showing that Velocity 9 will split you in 2.
Literally.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Mark my words, it has done it to Jay Garrick.
Yeah. So, and we'll get to that after a couple more points, I guess, in the sense of how they figure all that out.
Yeah.
But what happens, you know, Barry finds a way to kick it into the next gear without juicing. Congratulations. You know, well done. You did it without taking steroids.
He just ran a little bit faster.
Just ran a little bit faster, and he manages to stop trajectory, and she doses again and kind of like takes off, and her lightning turns blue and she evaporates. And that's kind of when they figure out what is happening with Zoom.
Yeah.
So it looks like they figure out that he has, you know, cellular degeneration, and he's trying to save himself. He's trying to use Barry's Speed Force to keep himself alive.
Yeah, that's right. Barry's Speed Force reconstructs his cells. So
yeah, and with a little bit of help from a Cisco vibe, that's how they figure out, because Jay Garrick was suffering from the same thing. That's how they put 2 and 2 together. They find out what we've known for weeks. Jay Garrick is Zoom, and now Barry has to go through the whole thing again of I've been
duped by my mentor.
Again.
Yes.
Why?
And he runs off into the forest to punch dance his anger away.
He does. Yeah, he has a bit of a scream.
Yeah.
That's great. Look, it was a pretty average episode. It was never going to be amazing. Like these episodes where they come back from break never really are.
No, it's kind of like they have to build up to the next thing.
Yeah.
And it's
Which
always
at this
pretty
point,
mediocre.
Yeah, which at this point they're going to build towards the finale.
Yeah.
Rating for this one?
I'm going to give it 3 mils of sweet, sweet V9.
Ooh.
What about you?
That sounds like too much V9.
Oh,
Man, you know what it does. You've seen it now.
Man,
I'll
that's
give
not
it.
enough.
I'll give it 3 mils. I'll samey
Same.
dose with you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Want a
Let's
race?
do it. That's going to bring us into this week's episode of Arrow.
Yeah, the team battle fucking Cupid again. And Damien Darks looks like he's going to get off pretty easy on his trial.
Yeah.
Felicity calls it quits. Yes.
Do you think it's for goodsies?
Fuck, I hope so.
Well, we'll talk about that later. That's
Yeah.
okay. So, look, to me, this is the world's most annoying villain, this woman. Cupid, her name is. She calls herself. I can only ask why. Like, why? Out of all the people that you could bring back,
Why her?
I understand in the sense that this whole episode was about the breakdown of the relationship between Felicity and Oliver.
Yeah.
And this kind of, you know, she comes in and it's kind of like a whole love theme, but fuck.
Man, I think the writers...
Excuse my language, but fuck me.
I think the writers for Arrow were on break this week, and they just went back to... Was it last season she was in it, or the first season?
Yeah,
Anyway...
season 2, I think.
Yeah, and they've recycled this story, man. It's so fucking close.
Yeah, except on the flip side, because before she was all about love, now she's all about love is bad.
Yeah.
She's targeting celebrity couples.
Of all things.
Of all things, she's targeting celebrity couples. So, you know, watch out, Women's Weekly. But the amount of stupid in this episode is just too much. There's a part where Oliver captures her with like a wire snare arrow, and she just uses an arrowhead to just cut through it.
Yeah, well...
And escape.
He wraps her up and just turns his back straight away.
Yeah.
Man, come on, get your shit together, Oliver.
If you could see my face right now and the rage that it has on it, yeah. Look, she's hiding in a factory that stores wedding dresses.
Oh, fuck. Does no one fucking work there?
Apparently not, because literally they just pull back a curtain and there is like her secret lair.
Yeah.
Filled with like crazy photos of couples and knives and all this sort of stuff. Anyway, I guess the main part of the story is the fact that Felicity has dead set decided that this is it for us. You know, like, I don't want to be with you anymore. But they kind of have to reconcile for fake
Yeah, they had
in order to capture Cupid, right?
Yeah.
I was paying attention while this was happening, I swear.
Yeah.
So they've had to reconcile while in order to trap her into thinking that they're a hot celebrity couple that are going to get married, and so she busts in
and spoils the show.
Yeah, spoils the show, or does she?
Yeah.
In the meantime, the whole other part of the story for this particular episode is that Damien Dark is attempting to get his case dismissed, and for the most part of the episode, as it plays along, it looks like he's going to get away with it until Captain Lance steps up and just goes, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, well, he's basically put his whole career on the line to put this guy behind bars, and effectively that's what swings the judge's opinion to keep Damien Dark locked up.
Yeah. It's like, you haven't provided any evidence at all.
Yeah.
So I would be inclined to let him go. However, the testimony of a police captain who is just completely, put his career on the line, sways me to believe that this guy has to be telling the truth, because why would he do that to himself? And Damien Dark ends up in jail, but it doesn't look like he's too concerned.
Yeah.
He's got a plan.
Yeah, of course he does. He's just going to pitch out when he hasn't got his powers again.
Well, does he have his powers?
Yeah, that little ring.
Little magic ring.
Yeah, that we see at the end of the episode.
Could just be a ring.
Yeah, it could
might
be.
not be magic. It might just be his favorite ring.
Talking about, the whole magical element, we get more of a backstory in the famous Arrow flashbacks.
Yeah, which have not stopped since day one. But that's okay. So, all I want, if it's going to go mystical, just bring back John Constantine.
Bring him back.
Hashtag bring back John Constantine.
Yeah.
Hashtag bring him back. Whatever you've got to do, make it happen.
Yeah. Even if it's on Legends of Tomorrow.
Just any way.
He's just a kick-ass character.
He is. Look, in the end, it's the big final showdown. Diggle and Thea, they're supposed to be the guys that jump in and stop Cupid from ruining everything and killing everybody. They get their asses handed to them, and effectively Oliver saves the day again, as he does. And then it brings us to the final little scene, which is super, super feels heavy.
Oh, so many feels.
So many feels.
This is the first time I've ever felt anything for Arrow this whole season.
But, it really shows that for Felicity, at least for now, it's done.
Yeah.
There is no reconciling, and she has left Team Arrow.
Yep.
And the quiver. She's gone.
Done.
But we'll see what happens. She won't be gone for that long.
Nah. Should be back 2 episodes.
Yeah. Give it 2, 3 tops.
Yeah.
And she'll be back and they'll be married.
Yeah.
Put money on it.
Yeah, that's it. Gotham.
You don't want to give it a rating?
Oh, fuck. 2 shitty, fucking stupid Cupid hearts.
All right.
What about you?
Oh, look. Yeah, it wasn't a great episode for me. Again, we spoke about it. This is going to happen when they come back from break. Just the wrong character to bring back. I just don't care.
Yeah.
I'll give it 2.
Yeah.
2. That's fine.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Gotham.
Yeah.
I guess in this episode, Nigma kind of outriddles Gordon. Penguin gets himself a dad. And more importantly, Bruce wins his first fist fight. Innit? To me, that was massive.
Yeah.
So
was the guy he was fighting.
Well, yeah. But this was a real Riddler-centric episode. Had a really good throwback feel for me. It was part film noir, part 60s Batman. It was very camp.
Yeah, with the big bomb.
Yeah, the big bomb
that threw me straight back to Adam West.
Yes.
The episode where he's on the submarine.
Yeah. But definitely, and that's why. Yeah, it just had this whole feel of that sort of era. It didn't really last for the whole episode, but at least the way it started, it was really good.
Yeah.
And it's for me, it's good to see them try to expand on this particular character. I don't think it worked. Effectively, what he's trying to do is he's trying to not outsmart Gordon. He's trying to frame him for a murder, right?
Which eventually he does by the end of the episode.
Yeah, but that's not really in my opinion, what the Riddler is about. The Riddler's not about I'm gonna like frame you and like use some ingenuity to catch you out. He's kind of more like he just wants to battle wits with you non-stop.
Yeah.
Just until you break. Really.
Yeah. No,
But
I
that's
see
okay.
that.
Look, I mean, it's Gotham. Again, we've spoken about it many times. They're going to have their own take on these characters, and that's fine. Didn't do the Riddler a lot of justice by the end of it, but that's okay. In an interesting side story, though, and the only other real side story that there was, is we see Bruce take a beating, but then we see him fight back.
Yeah. He really gets the shit kicked out of him. Plays the inner monologue of
Alfred.
Yep. And basically turns it around on this. I guess he's a bully criminal.
Well, yeah, he's like a drug lord's son and probably next in line to to take over that thing. But it's kind of he's getting his ass kicked and he knows he needs to like outlast the bigger man and all that sort of stuff. But it's really when he mentions his parents that Bruce loses his shit and just bam.
Yeah.
Like, you see the little
Bam!
pow, and just socks him one. And that's it.
Yeah.
There's not much more to it than that, really. But it's his first real sort of like, that's the first time you see him kind of snap and go, nope. No, I ain't taking that shit.
No, sir.
There is another little side story, I guess.
Yeah. Barbara wakes up from her coma.
Cool.
I couldn't care less.
I've never really liked her as a character.
I do not like this Harley Quinn wannabe.
Yeah, I understand where she fits in with the story as a whole, of course. She's such a major character and obviously such a big part of Jim Gordon's life.
Yeah.
But I do not know where they're going and what they're doing.
Yeah.
I could just be ignorant to the character and I could be missing a lot of stuff. But
I don't think the writers
really
even know what they're doing.
Maybe.
It's a whole Lost scenario.
Yeah.
They're just writing shit on the go
Just
and
every week.
see where it lands.
Yeah. For certain characters, I think.
Yeah.
I think they got an idea. Penguin's one that his sort of side story is building a little bit. He meets his estranged father, who happens to be like an eccentric millionaire.
Yeah. What I think they're doing there is they're kind of building up to the Court of Owls.
Yeah.
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 So that could be quite good. I thought they were teasing that with Theo.
Theo Gallivant.
Yeah.
They might still do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. And if they do that, and if they do it right,
It'll be fucking amazing.
it'll be amazing. If they don't, it's just, it could be terrible.
Yeah.
It's interesting to note that Pee Wee Herman, what's his name?
Yeah, no, it's
Is that his real name?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's his real name. Pee Wee Herman, who plays Penguin's dad in this show, actually played Penguin's dad in a little brief sort of bit in Batman Returns.
Really?
Yes.
Ah.
Batman Returns is the one with the penguin, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So he was there in the same sort of character
Yeah.
as Penguin's dad for that. That was cool.
Ah, awesome.
It ends up with, as we spoke about earlier, and we touched on it a little bit earlier, the Riddler has tried to set Jim Gordon up to take the fall for a murder, and it works, and he ends up going to jail.
Yeah.
He won't stay there.
No, right.
I give him an episode, and he'll be out somehow.
Oh, easy. On a technicality.
On a technicality or something. He gets 40 years.
BD Wong will be all up in this shit. Getting
BD
him along.
Wong, yeah. He'll be in there. But yeah, again, not a great episode.
No.
And I'm not trying to rag on anything, like everything that's happened this week.
No, it's just been
It's
not
just-
that great of a week.
Yeah. Maybe everybody knew that Daredevil was out.
Actually, that could have been a good
And
point.
they're just like, we don't want to put our good episodes out while we know we're not going to get any traction because everyone's going to be watching Daredevil.
That's a good point. I'm surprised not every episode was a bottle episode this week.
They've used that up.
Yeah, they
Everyone
have.
has already.
What'd you give it this week? What's your rating?
I'm going to give it 3 Riddler question mark things.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's probably the best episode that was on this week.
Yeah.
So,
But still fairly average.
yeah.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
And DC's Legends of Tomorrow is away.
Yeah, when's that come back?
Don't quote me. I refuse to give out information that I haven't sourced prior. But yeah, I think it's next week. I do
Okay.
believe it's next week.
Cool.
Ooh, so that was the super dramatic theme from Daredevil on Netflix.
Give me them chills.
Okay, so this week we're going to delve into the world of the Devil from Hell's Kitchen, the man with no fear, Matt Murdock, the blind New York attorney, master of lawyering by day, and Hell's Kitchen vigilante, the Daredevil by night.
Season 2 has landed on Netflix, and we know everyone can't watch it all at once. So we're going to break it down into, I guess, little segments.
A little few episodes.
Yeah, at a time for you so you can dissect it along with us.
Yeah. And we might even throw a little bonus character bio.
Just a little one.
Just a little one at the end of the man himself, Daredevil. So we're going to kick things off with episode 1. Bang.
Bang.
Bang. Look, it kicks off approximately 1 year later. I don't know if you know this, but apparently the breaks in between the seasons are in real time.
Yes, I did.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, then I haven't taught you a thing. Excellent. Well, that's really good. But yeah, look, it's apparently in real time. So we're looking at about a year later, and look, everything looks great. The Nelson and Murdoch law firm is going strong while not making a lot of money. Foggy, Karen, and Matt seem to be working well together, and they're happy, and everyone's having a very good time. Except Matt seems to be working a lot harder than ever to clean up Hell's Kitchen, thanks to the void left by Wilson Fisk.
Yeah.
So what's happening? It's a mad power struggle between the gangs. But ultimately what we're left with is we're seeing a sense of routine as far as superhero routines go, as Team Daredevil go about their daily lives, and all seems well.
Yeah.
That's about to change, isn't it?
It is.
Isn't it? Because something or someone out there has just taken out an entire Irish? An entire Irish mob family. And look, in a kick-ass scene of extravagant violence, they leave just one survivor named Grotto and a whole lot of other carnage in the wake. Look, to be honest with you, at this point, we know, the viewer, that it's the Punisher.
Of course.
Of course we do. All the publicity and everything. You can't not know it's the Punisher by this stage if you're in it. But if you didn't, let me tell you, there's no fucking way you could believe that a single man could do this sort of damage. Right? But what it does do is it really sets up the Punisher as more of a myth than a man.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
As I guess whispers of his murderous rampage make their way through the streets and precincts alike. But it's made even more terrifying when Matt finds a bunch of cartel members strung up on meat hooks.
Yeah, that was a cool scene,
That was a very cool scene.
And that's the first scene where we find out it's one person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And look, I don't always condone violence to cartel members, but it was awesome.
It was.
It was great. But you're right. That's exactly right. So this is the part where Matt finds out that it's not a gang, it's not an army, it's one man. And that's got to be friggin' terrifying.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Anyway, Grotto in the meantime, so that's, I just mentioned it, that's the guy that was left alive, or not left alive, he just happened to survive.
Yeah.
Lucky for himself. So he's fearing for his life, and he's turned to Nelson and Murdoch for help, because they'll basically help anyone. They don't care what your past is. They'll help you if you look like you're in trouble. And got a little bit injured in the ruckus, I want to say.
It's shooting bullets.
Shooting bullets?
A bit
Is
of
that
ruckus?
a ruckus? Yeah, I don't know. I've never been in a ruckus. I'd assume it's something like shooting bullets. Ends up in hospital. Karen happens to be looking after him. And this is the part where we really get to see the Punisher as they're really trying to portray him here. Kind of more Terminator than man.
It was a very Terminator feel.
It was.
I just feel he needed to drop a bouquet of roses when he pulled out his shotgun.
That would have been great. But the result is pretty much the same. He ends up shooting the whole place up. He's unafraid to enter the hospital, start shooting the place up, unafraid or unconcerned about the innocent bystanders, the terrified innocent bystanders. All he wants is his man, basically. And Karen and Grotto flee. And this is where we see the first showdown and a rooftop battle between the Punisher and the Daredevil. And let me tell you, the choreography is great. It's not as flashy as it normally is in this show, but I think that really plays to the brutality of the two. And I guess they look to be fairly evenly matched, even though if you're an avid reader of the comic books, the Punisher knows that he would never outlast the Daredevil in a knockdown, drag him out fist fight.
Yeah.
Which, is probably why he ends up pulling out a gun and with a single word, bang, shoots Daredevil right in the face. Which, let me tell you, was pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, major. It was major hang on for that second episode.
Yeah, I was not expecting it. Not to the face.
No.
You know, maybe the chest, whatever, but shoots him right in the face. That's cool.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much the end of that episode. Look, I really liked it.
Yeah, what do you give it?
4 bullets to the face.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll agree.
Yeah.
It was a really good episode. So that'll lead us into episode 2, Dogs to a Gunfight. And with Troy saying episode 1 ended with Matt being shot in the head. And luckily enough, this mask is bulletproof. Keeps him alive, but he's pretty fucked up from it.
He is.
You know, his senses are fading in and out. And the show does a really good way of showing this by pretty much muting everything while he's going crazy. You know, it makes you feel a part of his struggle that's going on.
Yeah, it's cool. Completely loses his sense of hearing.
Yeah, and you can see he's struggling with it. He's screaming out loud.
I like the way they did that. It was good. In this episode, we spend a little bit more time with the Punisher.
Yeah, you know, we get a better look at his ethos. He's happy to commit crimes when he has to. You know, he'll buy a police scanner with stolen money, but as soon as the cashier crosses the line and tries to sell him kiddie porn, he takes care of that shit.
He ain't having that.
No, that's it. But, you know, we see that side of him, but there's also another side where I guess it's a more softer, caring side.
Yeah.
He shoots up the criminal's family, but he takes care of their dog.
Well, that's really nice, isn't it?
Yeah, little fun fact, he has a dog in the comics.
Yes, he does.
But, you know, that goes to show that the Punisher does have a moral code.
It does.
But, you know, in saying that, he has left everyone in that hospital shitting their pants.
Pretty much.
And you know, it's not just the people in the hospital. It's Team Daredevil. It's the authorities as well. The police, the DAs, everyone.
It's a real. I guess it's a real. There's a genuine sense that this guy is like dangerous as fuck.
Yeah, absolutely. And because of that, you know, we see Foggy and Karen working really hard to get the client safe.
So Grotto,
yeah, sorry, I forgot his name. Yeah, you know, they're working really hard to keep him safe, but it doesn't help that the DA is pretty much just using him as bait, unknown to Team Daredevil.
Team Daredevil.
That's what I'm calling them.
Do they know that they're Team Daredevil?
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah, I suppose. Right, that's fair.
But yeah, you know, so essentially Grotto's is used as bait in this episode by the DA to lure out the Punisher, and it happens.
He takes the bait.
Yeah.
He takes the bait.
He takes the bait.
He does.
It sees the Punisher come out, kind of fucks up, drops a tear gas bomb or a smoke bomb, kind of alerts everyone that he's there.
Yeah. Daredevil throws that.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, you see, I thought he dropped that.
No. So, because you see the part earlier where Matt is in his apartment.
Yeah.
So, we'd assume that he's probably taken stuff and he's like, I'll use this, a little bit of a distraction. That's how I see it anyway.
Oh,
You could be completely right.
Yeah, see, because I saw him drop it and he kind of says, oh, shit.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Would the Punisher drop a smoke bomb?
I think he would. He's human.
Is he?
Yes.
I don't think he would, but that's fair. Tell us your thoughts. Yeah. Did Daredevil throw it, or did the Punisher drop it like an idiot, which the Punisher would never do?
I think he did. Anyway, of course, it leads to another rooftop fight.
Another rooftop fight. These guys love it.
And this time it sees Matt coming up on the wrong end of the fight.
Yeah.
And they fall through the roof.
Yeah.
And we just see a bloody trail disappeared. And you kind of have to wonder if they're going to have a lovely little chat.
They probably will.
Yeah.
We'll find out in episode 3 for sure, right?
Right.
What'd you give it?
I give this 4 out of 5 going deaf freakouts.
4 out of 5 going deaf freakouts.
Yeah.
Okay. I will also give it 4 out of 5. It's really hard to fault this show.
Yeah. Everything they do is good.
It's really good. But not as good as what they do in episode 3, which is New York's Finest. And let me tell you that this was the episode of the season for me. Like, so far. I'll go so far as to say the episode of the series.
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
This will be the best Marvel property episode ever.
Yeah. Probably.
Out of everything.
Everything ever in the history of ever doing anything.
Yeah.
Ever. But anyway, moving on. So this episode obviously picks up where episode 2 has finished, and we now see where the Punisher has taken Daredevil. He's chained him up to the top of a building on a roof. What is with that? They're always on a roof.
Yeah.
But that's cool. Look, what happens? It plays out like a conversation between the two, and it's really interesting. It's a really interesting take on the different moral codes of the two.
Yeah.
Even though ultimately they're on the same side. I guess the Punisher doesn't believe Daredevil's methods work, and Daredevil strongly believes in the possibility of a second chance.
Yeah, absolutely.
And during the whole rooftop exchange, it gives us a lot more insight into the Punisher as a human being rather than just a killing machine. Mm-hmm. Well, John Bernthal's Punisher tends to be a little more open, I guess, with his thoughts and emotions than his comic book counterpart. But that's cool for me. Like, I like it. I don't know whether they're doing it, it could be just his take on the character. They might want to humanize him a bit more because the character in the comics is traditionally a little bit more stoic.
Yeah.
Or it could just be like an origin thing. Who knows? Stay with us. You'll find out at some point. But it does. It gives us a lot more of an insight into him. Look, I am loving his portrayal right now at this point. This is episode 3. I just want to take the time to say sorry that we ever called you Dickhead Shane.
We're not worthy.
We are not worthy, Dickhead Shane from The Walking Dead. I do apologize, John Bernthal, if you're listening, which you're probably not. But if you are, I do apologize. We one time called you Dickhead Shane. But that was all the way back in episode 1. We were young.
But to be fair.
But to be fair, you were a dickhead in that show. Yeah. Anyway, the battle of ideas between the two kind of leads the Punisher into literally forcing a gun into Daredevil's hands, and in a scene straight from the comics, forces Matt to choose between saving Grotto's life by killing Frank or standing by and watching him die.
Yeah, this is good.
It's
good. Real good.
It's real good, and it's played out really well. And look, Matt will always choose to argue about the importance and redemption of seeing people for who they can be. But as a viewer, you can't help but consider the Punisher's side. Everything is so black and white to him. There's good and evil, life and ultimately death.
Yeah, and even the cops are seeing his point of view when he's doing this stuff.
Yeah, they might not necessarily agree with his methods, but the outcome, I guess, is good.
Yeah, I like it.
Right. They like it. I guess the biggest differing part from the comics, though, is where in the comics, if you didn't know, and we do talk about this comic a bit later, so I don't want to spoil it too much, but in the comics, Daredevil does actually pull the trigger. I guess I actually spoiled it heaps.
Oh, wow. Way to go.
Way to ruin it for everyone. Look, Daredevil actually does pull the trigger in the comics, only to find that the Punisher has removed the firing pin. But in this, Matt uses his soul bullet to shoot his chains free. And the Punisher shoots Grotto and then uses a grenade launcher to torch some neighboring Dogs of Hell motorcycles. I guess in a last-ditch attempt to bring more victims to him.
Yeah, I guess so. Just kind of thinning out the competition.
Yeah, I guess so. Just using it as an opportunity to do that.
Yeah, why not?
What culminates, though, to me, is quite possibly the world's greatest fight scene ever to be caught on camera in the history of there being a camera and people fighting.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And it really puts Daredevil's powers to great use.
It does. You can see that he's got a real sense of a real sense of control over his powers now.
Yep.
It's very similar to the hallway fight scene in the first season,
except 10 times better.
This just goes and goes and goes, and when you think it's finished, there's just more bikies come out of nowhere, and it's brilliant. But ultimately, while he takes down probably 462,000 bikies, the Punisher eventually gets away. I guess it's interesting, as a little side note, Foggy did have a little bit of a side story. In his attempt to find Matt, he has wandered into the hospital where Claire Temple works. And that's, if you don't remember who she was the nurse from the first season.
AKA Night Nurse.
Night Nurse, yeah, if you want to go that way. Rosario Dawson, if you want to know her real name. But anyway, so look, she's there. She drops hints about her meeting with Luke Cage, which is cool. And also basically just helps Foggy in his attempts to track down Matt. All good and well, but the brilliance of the interaction between Matt and Frank on the roof, and of course the absolutely jaw-dropping fight scene, man. It's my favorite show, my favorite episode of the show by far.
Yeah,
5 out of 5. I'm not even going to try to think of something funny to say with it.
What?
Just 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
5 out of 5. Cool as shit points.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah?
5 out of 5 hallway steps.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But 5 out of 5. That's how good it is. If you haven't even seen the show yet, too bad. We've spoiled everything, but it's fucking brilliant.
Yes.
Okay. That's going to be episode 4, I
Yeah,
guess.
episode 4, Penny and Dime. And this really serves as the finale to the introduction to the Punisher.
Yeah.
And, with the Irish mob closing in on Frank, he allows himself to get caught.
Yeah. Very un-Punisher-like.
Yeah, but he...
Or is it?
Or is it? Yeah, exactly.
I was trying to set something up.
Oh. And, he basically goes through a whole bunch of torture, all the while being a fucking badass motherfucker.
Yeah, you don't care.
Yeah, he's like, drill my foot.
Drill my foot. I don't care. Punch me in the face.
Yeah.
He takes it all.
Until, they really bring his dog out and he's like, oh no.
Yeah, please don't hurt my dog.
Yeah.
Drill me in the foot again.
Yeah.
But don't hurt my dog.
But, meanwhile, I'm saying it again.
Yeah.
Team Daredevil,
No.
they're really finding out who Frank is.
They are.
As a person,
Yeah.
I can't remember her name.
Karen
broke into his house.
Yep.
Started going through his shit. Found out he had a family. Had this whole other backstory that nobody knows about.
Yeah, found that book.
Yeah.
Which is very integral to the whole thing.
Yeah, that's it. And because of this, Daredevil really takes it upon himself to find him and rescue him.
Yeah.
Because he's just not this murderer.
Yeah, exactly. And this, in the comic books as well, this is the way that these characters really play out. Like they're not friends. They're not, they're not
enemies.
They're not enemies. They're not friends. They're not like best buds. They're not BFFs. But they do have a respect for each other, and I guess they understand. I think Punisher, well, I should say Daredevil rather, probably just wants to try to change the Punisher.
Yeah, he understands what he's doing. He's just not doing it in the most ethical way.
Yeah, exactly.
And, Daredevil had this whole struggle himself last season when he was in a position where he could have killed Fisk.
Yeah.
But, of course we know he doesn't.
Yeah.
But
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. But if you're listening to season 2...
You crazy.
Yeah. No, but, he's gone through this struggle himself. So he wants to try and convert the Punisher, I guess, into a healthier, safer way of taking care of the bad guys.
Yeah, and while the Punisher wants to, is happy that the Daredevil is doing the same thing, really just thinks his methods are shit.
Yeah.
And he should just kill people. And
Yeah,
get
that's
it.
it. He actually says, your guys get back up, mine don't.
Yeah.
They stay down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, this all, moving on, this all leads to a badass rescue.
Super badass rescue.
Yeah, by Matt. He's got great control of these batons that he has.
He does.
He's bouncing them off walls like a total badass.
He is, and I can't wait until we see him use them even more.
Yeah.
You got to swing from stuff, man. Swing from some stuff.
Yeah, that's it.
We're waiting for it to happen.
And anyway, what happens? Frank gets out, kills the Irish mob boss.
Boom.
Shotgun to the face.
Right to the face.
Yeah, he ain't fucking around. And essentially, Daredevil comes in, clears out the other guys.
Yep.
Helps Frank out because he's got his foot busted up by the drill.
Yeah.
And
he's not in a good way.
No,
he did take a bullet as well, I think.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. Took a bullet to the side. He wouldn't be that messed up just from his foot. He's the Punisher, man.
Man, what happens when you kick your toe?
Yeah, all right. What
Yeah.
happens when you bite your finger?
Yeah.
What happens when you kick your toe?
Man.
You're with these real world scenarios,
Yeah,
man.
exactly. And this is a real world scenario in Daredevil, man.
All right.
Yeah.
But look, you're right. He is quite beat up.
Yeah, that's it. So basically, what happens is the Daredevil, the Punisher, they limp out to a cemetery.
Yeah.
And this is one of the best moments probably in the series.
TV history.
Yeah, it's a pretty touching moment.
It's bigger than the MASH finale.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I'm going on record.
Yeah.
Look, it's not massive, but what it does show, for me, this sealed the deal with John Bernthal and his portrayal of this guy. I thought it was really, really well done, but not just him. I thought it was really well written.
Yeah.
The score, the direction, everything. Like
Yeah.
it was just it played so much, and you really, really, really started to feel for this guy, and you started to root for him.
Yeah, that's it. It humanized him as a character.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Because I think if any one of us went through something similar, like how would you act? You don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can understand that it might break a man, and it
Yeah.
might, turn him into what the Punisher ultimately is.
Yeah, that's it. And this leads to the police showing up.
Yeah, as they do.
Yeah. Well, mind you, Daredevil did call the police about it.
Yeah.
And sees him handing, I guess, the Punisher.
The collar.
Yeah, handing the prize over to the police and kind of says, don't tell anyone I did it.
Yeah.
Take the glory. This town needs to know the police are in control.
Yeah. Which they are not.
No, of course not.
By a long shot. But apparently the people need to know that they are.
Yeah. And, does it help? I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Time will tell.
Time will tell. So, all this has happened. The cop has let Daredevil go.
Yeah.
And Matt gets home pretty chuffed with himself.
Yeah.
Cracks a beer. Has a little smirk
as
on him.
you would.
Yeah. And he's sitting there having a sip. All of a sudden, bam! Who's on the couch?
Who?
Fucking Elektra.
What? I was not expecting that.
No.
I was.
Well,
We all were.
Well,
We all were.
We saw the promos.
Yeah. But anyway.
But yeah, so that's going to lead us into our next story arc, which we'll probably talk about next week.
Yeah.
And we'll cover all that cool shit.
Fuck yeah, we will.
Yeah.
You give that a rating?
Yeah.
What are you going to give it?
I give it 4.5 shotgun blasts to the head.
Straight to the head.
Straight to the head.
Old Irish mob, head gangster, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll give it that. I'm not going to do another 5 out of 5 because I don't do that.
No.
But yeah, I will give you a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, no, it's a good
I
episode.
agree. So that's it. We're not going to talk about the whole season. We spoke about that earlier. We're not going to talk about the whole season. We're going to break it down into little story arcs as time progresses.
Yeah. It may be 1 to 2 episodes. It might be 3 to 4. Might be half the season.
It kind of really depends on how the story plays out. But trust us, within the next few weeks, we'll be done with this because we don't want to leave it drag because I'm desperate to see what happens in the end.
Yeah.
Do you think they're all friends? Live happily ever after?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think so.
I think that, they get out the little defender forms and start signing that shit.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be cool.
Would it?
I don't know.
Nah.
All right, let's
We'll
move on
find
to
out.
the next thing.
And that's going to bring us to our final segment. Get to know your favorite hero, brought to you by Kasplat Comics.
Yes, check out their Facebook page, Kasplat Comics and Collectibles. We'll also post a link to their website in our show notes so you guys can get your buy on. They've got absolutely everything you need in the realm of comic bookdom.
And this week, we're going to give you 2. That's right, just 2.
Just 2?
So open up your ear holes and listen carefully, because we have got 2 amazing Punisher and Daredevil crossover comics for you to enjoy. So without further ado, number 2.
Number 2 is going to be The Devil by the Horns from Punisher number 3. As part of Garth Ennis's awesome run on the Punisher back in 2000, and taking place within the Welcome Back Frank story arc, Devil by the Horns, while brief, is a stellar exploration into the methodology of the two men. Frank Castle is on the hunt, and there's only one man who can get in his way, the Daredevil. After gaining the upper hand during the fight, the Punisher forces the man without fear into an impossible choice: kill the Punisher, or sit by and watch him execute someone else. It's a fantastic story, focusing on the moralities of vigilante justice, that has quite obviously influenced parts of the new season of Daredevil and John Bernthal's portrayal of the Punisher. It's tops.
Number 1.
Number 1 is The Devil in Cell Block D, spanning Daredevil Volume 2, number 82 to 87, written by Ed Brubaker and beautifully illustrated by Michael Lark. The Devil in Cell Block D tells the story of Matt Murdock, imprisoned on Rikers Island for the crime of basically being the Daredevil, and driven to desperation and enveloped in rage at the death of a close friend. Now, while the two have never really seen eye to eye, Frank Castle takes it upon himself to save Matt not only from himself, but the bevy of inmates and prison guards out to get him. A beautifully written story that shows while the two may have vastly opposing ideas of justice, there is a true respect between them. And with that, that's going to bring us to the end of another episode, man.
Yeah, that's it.
Episode 6.
Done.
Son.
Done.
Done.
And that's it. Yeah, thanks for listening, and be sure to My God. Be sure to subscribe on iTunes and Stitcher. If you could, leave us a 5-star rating on iTunes. because that shit helps.
It does help. You and your 5-star ratings, man.
Hey, I don't want 4s.
You're gagging for it.
Oh, man. I'm hurting.
Hurting for a 5-star squirting. And don't forget, you can follow us on Facebook and at Comic fucking Jesus. And don't forget, you can follow us on Facebook with Comic Confidential Podcast, Instagram and Twitter at Comic Con Pod, and of course on the website where you can download all of our episodes for the price of free.
Free.
That's
$0.
$0. www.comicconpod.com.
Next week, watch out for our bonus episode of Batman vs. Superman.
It's going to be amazing.
Yes. When are we going to drop it? We don't know.
It could be Wednesday.
Could be Tuesday. We could drop it the same day as the next episode.
We could. We don't know. But yes, we will have 2 episodes next week. Make sure you look out for it. Batman vs. Superman special and episode 7, untitled as of yet.
Yes. That's a surprise.
Surprise, surprise. So until next week, as always, I'm Troy.
I'm Kade.
And this has been Comic Confidential.
Catch ya.
Peace.